All right, guys, as usual, it's time for the November real estate market update. Sales activity. 4,236 transactions took place on the Toronto Real Estate Board in the month of November. This represents a month-over-month decline from October of 404 transactions and year-over-year decline of 6% compared to November of 2022. For some context, these are the lowest number of sales for the month of November since 1999. And if you take the whole year in totality, 2023, we're sitting at 62,575 transactions. And this is the lowest number of transactions on the Toronto Real Estate Board since the year 2000. Clearly, it's been quite a slow year for real estate. When it comes to average prices, have a look at this image I'm putting on your screen right now. It shows the average prices for 4 major property types in Toronto and in the GTA. When you're looking at detached homes, both in Toronto and in the GTA, they're still being quite resilient. And in Toronto, they're actually up year over year, 3.5%. In the GTA, they're pretty much flat. Semi-detached are up also year over year compared to November of 2022. Meanwhile, townhomes and condos are showing declines. Both are down, but the condos in the GTA, so outside of Toronto, are actually doing quite well. They're up 6.4% year over year. Let's have a look at condos more closely. So this is an image that shows the average price per square foot for Toronto and downtown condos. You're seeing that month over month, they're down both in Toronto and in downtown. Downtown actually down the most, 2.3% month over month. So Toronto condos are selling at about $886 per square foot. Meanwhile, downtown condos are $1,044 per square foot. Let's take a look at market direction. To determine market direction, 2 things: total months of inventory and total number of residential listings. So months of inventory have actually been trending up. They're currently sitting at 2.7 months for the city of Toronto, up from 2.6 in October. It's telling us that inventory is slowly building. Now I'm putting up a chart on your screen which indicates the total number of residential listings on MLS for all housing types. If you track the blue line, which is the resale market, as you can see, we are actually starting to see a seasonal decline in resale inventory. However, as you can see with the January 1st resale target well lower than the levels that we're currently at, we are sitting at some reasonably healthy levels of resale inventory. Let's take a look at the rental market by looking at the Rentals.ca National Rent Rankings report for November of 2023. Vancouver is leading in terms of rental price declines. Month over month, Vancouver 1 beds and 2 beds are down 3.5% and 3.4%. If you look at Toronto, there's some softening in the 1 bedroom prices, which are down 0.3%. But the 2 bedrooms are actually still quite resilient and they're up 0.4% month over month. I do expect the rental prices to begin to soften to mirror that of Vancouver, because that's what typically happens in the Canadian market. Vancouver sort of leads the pack and then Toronto will follow with very similar trends. All right, so the macro picture. On December the 6th, Bank of Canada just had its last policy rate meeting of 2023 and they decided to keep the rates unchanged. Not surprising, this is actually the 3rd hold in a row indicating that Bank of Canada is pretty much done raising interest rates for this economic cycle. I do not expect to see any rate hikes at all. Now it's just a matter of when the Bank of Canada will choose to do their first rate drop. Here is what the probabilities are. The markets are pricing in drops in 2024. 39% chance of a 50 basis point drop by March. 83% chance of a 75 basis point drop by June. By the end of the year, 41% odds of up to 150 basis point drops. And the reason why the market is pricing in such aggressive interest rate drops is because Canadian Q3 GDP just came in at negative 1.1%. This surprised economists, and I'm sure it surprised the Bank of Canada as well. We are just on the fringe of an official recession. And some will argue that we've been in a recession for the entirety of 2023, considering the fact that our GDP per capita has been negative this whole time. Lastly, the feet on the ground. When it comes to the resale market side of things, it is incredibly slow. It's very slow for condos specifically. When it comes to freehold real estate, there's still some kind of activity. I wouldn't call it significant, but it's there. For example, have a look at this property in the Beaches that actually received 8 offers on offer day. If you're selling something that's outstanding, there are buyers for it. On the rental side of things are definitely slowing down. There's no question about it. I can tell you that off the top of my head, there are 3 buildings that are currently in occupancy, and they're sitting with crazy number of rentals that are just not getting leased out. River and Fifth in the East End, we have Nobu in the Entertainment District, and 36 Zora in Etobicoke. It seems like location almost doesn't even matter at this point because these buildings have 40 to 50 units up for lease for a number of months now, and they're just not leasing out. Thank you guys for watching the November real estate market update. I'll see you in 2024 for the December update. Have an excellent holiday season.